Hi everybody, it's me, Sherry D. It's been a while. I've missed you all. I'm feeling much better lately. And so I wanted to come in and share my thoughts on posture and how important it is for our health and for, wow, somebody's already saying, hi, I love you. I love you back. So I wanted to share my thoughts on how important posture is to our well-being, our health, and our digestion. And so I thought I would pop on today and share with you. So, you know me, got to drink up first. It's so important. Hi, Leanne, I love you. I'm so glad your husband's home and doing well. Okay, so here are my thoughts on posture. I have a daughter that has unfortunate bad posture. So when she stands, she's very hunched over like this, and her stomach is doing this. So this, when we're standing like this, what it does is I had to move the comments so I can see what I'm doing here. When we stand like this, we're putting all this pressure and squishing our organs, right? So what I want to do is share with you all how I try to correct that hunch, because I used to be a real huncher too. I would just kind of stand there like this, and look what it's doing to my belly, and that's not good, that hunch. So basically, also too, I'd like to add that I don't have a lot of energy to be doing exercise. I mean, it takes enough energy just for me to get out of bed and do my hair. So what I've been doing lately to try to lift my booty back up is I do exercises while I stand by correcting my posture. So here's what I do. I always make sure, number one, that our feet, I'll get back here, our feet are hip distance apart and our toes are pointing forward. Because so many of us have a tendency when, like if we just stand, if I just stop and stand, oh, I'm getting better. I mean, my feet are actually, but most of us, some of us might stand like this, some of us might stand like this, and that's putting pressure on your hips. So we want to retrain our mind all the way down to our feet to be straight. That way we don't have hip problems, okay? So that's where I start. I start at the ground and I start working up. And so I've got my feet, and I'm going to go ahead and show you here. I got my feet straight, and then when I get here, see, this is a normal neutral position, but here's what I do to exercise my glutes. I tuck my pelvis and I squeeze them. And so I'm going to come a little bit closer so you can see. This is neutral. Here's tucked, neutral, tucked, neutral, tucked. Okay, so I keep it tucked. My glutes are relaxed. Now see if you can see when I contract them. Contract, not, contract. So see that right there? It's kind of flat. Now I'm going to contract it, and it gives this nice perk in it. Okay, so I've got my feet straight, I've got my pelvis tucked, I've got my glutes engaged. So I'm going to, and that's the only exercises I've been doing on my bum in the last 3 months because I haven't had so much energy. So I'm going to go ahead and come closer. So pelvis is tucked, glutes are pinched. See, you can really see that. And if you can't engage your glutes, I will be sharing some exercises on how we can train the glutes to engage. It's really easy. You can lay down and do it. It's so easy. Just laying on the floor and pulling your butt up off the floor with your back. It's easy. We'll show you. All right. So this is what I do. Feet, pelvis, glutes. And then I pull way up to make sure I really pull my waist up. So I kind of wiggle myself. I pull way up. Now that's not normal. That's bad. Now here's the secret part. This is where it's really important how our posture can work our abdominals to help strengthen and flatten them. Okay, so you kind of come up like you're a soldier, right? Attention. Well, then I let my air out of my mouth. I'm going to do it again. See, that's not right. Now watch. So now I've just engaged my transverse abs. So right there, so that is how I have been able to kind of make my abdominals look more chiseled in a way, because I don't do sit-ups, so that's just not for me. It's too much pressure on my neck. And so there I have my feet, pelvis, glutes. There we go. So I've got all this engaged. And then to stand here straight, we want our shoulders down. And when I put my shoulders down, my arms are pretty good. But back in the day when I was working a lot, my arms would be like this, at a relaxed position. So look in the mirror or take a picture of yourself and see where your arms land. You know, it might be this way, one might be kind of out here. And so what I've done to correct that is I stand in the yoga kind of prayer position. I don't know what it's called. But so what I do is so I've got everything engaged. Chest is up. So I hold that tight. Now I bring in my arms. And I'll do this at home in the mirror, and I'll do it for about, I don't know, 5 minutes, because I want my shoulders down. We don't want them up here, because then we're creating tension and knots up in our shoulders. So we want to be sure our shoulders are down. So this is what helps me personally keep my shoulders down and my back nice and straight, because I'm not up here, I'm not here. Glutes here. And so then as I do this, this is a good time for meditation. So you can actually exercise and meditate at the same time. And whenever I have my hands like this, I always think to pray. I give gratitude. I ask for forgiveness for things maybe I've said or done that wasn't nice or unkind. Or if someone pops into my head, you know, I pray for them. So this is kind of how I meditate. I find it a little too hard for me personally to sit on the floor and do this, you know, the Om thing, because I just don't have that upper body strength yet. Okay, so that's what I do. I've got my glutes tucked, you know, so I'm working my bum. And then I take a nice inhale, and you'll see my arms. So I start here, and I come down. And as soon as I get here, I bring my hands up like that, and I bring them all the way up to the ceiling. And I'm gonna have to move my camera. Hang on just a second. Okay, so I bring them all the way up to the ceiling. Now if you'll notice, so I have to correct everything. If you'll notice, my ears are up at my shoulders. That's not good, right? So, because I still don't have the perfect posture muscles, right? So what I do is I look up here, so I make sure everything's where it's supposed to be, and then I bring my hands apart. That way I can make sure my shoulders are down. Instead of being up here, we want them down, kind of like we're squeezing our shoulder blades together almost, but everything's just in a nice neutral position. Okay, so remember, the feet are facing forward, glutes are tucked, abs are in, and I will just stand here, and here's what I do when I'm in this position. I literally try to imagine all the fluid in my body flowing and repairing itself. So it's really a mental connection that I'm making with my fluid fascia that responds within my muscles. And so I will just stand here, and then I'll do this. Everyone will look up again. And sometimes for those of you who are strong, if you want, sometimes just for extra added strength, I'll lean back a little bit. And then I'll come back up to the center, and I'll recorrect. And then when I come down, watch my hands. And then I'll come here, and I'll just stand here. Everything is in line. My shoulders aren't up here, my shoulders are down. Now I'm gonna stand here for a few minutes, and I'm gonna swipe the comments back so I can see y'all. Who's there? Hi, Leanne. Let's see, Robin, DC Robin, I did this for you today. You inspired me to finally get on and talk about my posture. And I'm just gonna stand here like this for a few minutes and chat with you. Everything's in line, everything's engaged. My shoulders aren't up here, they're down here. And I'll even pull my neck. I literally will think about pulling like there's a brace, pulling my neck up. And so I'll stand here, and then, you know, so actually what I'm doing is I'm doing isometric exercises. Thank you for the love. I'm doing isometric exercises for my shoulder and this whole area to strengthen it, while I'm working on my posture. I'm strengthening my glutes and my abdominals. So, and I always have to remember, that's right, pull that in, okay? And so, what was I saying? Oh, my neck. And so sometimes too, when I'm here, I'll do neck exercise, just stretch, just gentle stretches. And if I feel a little bit of pull, I'll put my head just gently here and pull it. And I inhale. And as I exhale, I'm really pulling that abdominal area in. Okay, so if we just stand like this for 10 minutes, we're doing amazing things for our digestion, our shoulders, and then I might come back up, so I might start feeling a little fatigue, so I'll just come up here to a rest position. Sometimes I like to bend over, and a lot of people with bad backs, you probably can't do that move, but for those of us who are a little bit more physically strong and able to do that little back bend, it just gives you a little bit more core strength. So again, everything is nice and straight. And sometimes too, you don't want to be here, you don't want to be here. To be straight, everything in line so everything can flow. And then I'll go ahead and move this down. So then what I'll do too is and then I'll come back down and kind of see where my arms are laying. You know, are they here? Have I done anything good? Okay, so another one to just kick it up a little bit if you're interested in really strengthening your body. It's called tree pose for yoga. And so this works on balance. And when you work on your balance, you have good balance in your body. It gives me personally, it gives me more mental strength to balance things in my life everywhere else. I don't know why. It just, this is a hard pose to do. And if you can do it, you're like, wow, I'm pretty strong. And it's a good idea as we age to continue to work on our balance, because as we age, we lose that dexterity in our balance. And so, you know, yoga poses are just really, really good to practice. And that way, if we have good posture and good ability to balance, we are helping ourselves avoid injury. Okay, so here we go. I'll go ahead and do the tree pose for y'all. See what I do. So, you know, I make sure pelvis is tucked, shoulders are back. So there I am. Then you take your foot and you put it. Now you can even start, for those of you who are just beginning, you could even start right here. You could just start right here. You can be here. You can hold on to a chair if you need to for balance, and then just lift your foot up for a few seconds and that mental is so important and so good for our health, to get that air and just blow out any kind of negativity or stress that's been weighing you down. Okay, so you could be hanging onto a chair. You can have your hands here. You can have them here. You can have them here. You can have them here, pointed, you know, like that, or you can have them here. So there's so many variations that you can do, and you can even do them all. So again, you could just start here at the beginning, and then you can move your way up here, and again, you can be holding onto a chair. Then you can move up, but right here at the knee, I don't suggest, like my weight, this leg is not resting on my knee. I'm actually using most of this leg to do the work here. But when you get up here, when you can literally place your foot within your thigh, and now this is relaxed. The pressure's on my thigh. I have to squeeze in my glute. So this was really strong right now. Blow that air out. And so now what I'm doing, so this glute is contracted, and now what I'm doing is I'm taking this leg and I'm trying to open it up like that. And as I open it up as far as it will go, it's contracting this glute muscle. And I'm contracting it so hard, I'm almost getting a little cramp right there. So I'm going to ease up just a little bit because I don't want to stress my body. This is all supposed to be relaxing. If you can close your eyes and do this, you're even more working on your balance. If you have a hard time and you weeble and you wobble, whoa, find something to focus on, something in the room. Clear your thoughts, focus on something, and see how long you can stay there. So there, see, I'm opening it up, remembering my glute, because it's so easy for us to just kind of go, whoop, I go, nope. I tell myself, nope, get back in line, Sherry. Okay, so I'll be standing here, and then I'm like, oh, I want to challenge myself. So again, my hand is this way, and when I get up to here is when I put my palms to the ceiling. I come all the way. Now right here is where I feel pinching in my shoulders, but I'm gonna see if I can look up. Looking up and doing this is really, really challenging. I can already feel my foot wobbling. Okay, oh, whoa. Okay, so now I'm gonna pull them down. Remember, my shoulders aren't up here, they're here. Pull it in and just see how long you can stay. And then back down. And like I say, I really like my hands here because also what this is doing, now I'm gonna switch foots. I'm gonna feet, legs, foots. Before I switch foot, here, I'll do something healthy. Hang on. Love it. Okay, so now I'm going to change feet. So I'm going to go ahead and be right here since I started there. Now, if you can see my feet, I looked down at my feet and look what's happening because this is a natural, I just came over from my stool and here I was, and look, my foot is tipped out just a little bit. So what am I going to do? I'm going to correct it. I want that foot facing forward. That way everything is in line here. Okay, inhale. Exhale, squeeze my glute. I'll come up here for one inhale. Now I'm going to bring it up. I put this right as high as I can get it. There we go. Here's my glutes tight. This is opened as much as I can. And here we go. And today, I would like to say blessings and happy thoughts for all my wonderful female friends I have in this group. You ladies are really amazing. I learn so much from you all. I watch everything, not everything, but I watch as much as I can that you all share, and I try to share it back in here. So oftentimes when I've shared amazing articles, it sometimes is something that I've found from somebody else that's posted that's already in this group. So I try to give shout outs as much as I can to whoever posted something, but sometimes I'm in a hurry and I just share and then be on with it. So I appreciate everybody's input in this group. It really, really inspires me. Okay, this is hard. This is my right foot. Okay, I can't stay up there very long. So, now that was a mouth inhale, but in through the nose and out through the mouth. Push it out. Okay, so that, ladies, is my inspiration for the day that I would like to share on how important it is to have good posture and work on balance. But so to me, in my opinion, our posture is our number one first health requirement that we should start with. Of course, it's what we intake and how we eat and whatnot, but we stand and we walk every day. So for an example too, hi Rhonda, I'm glad you could join me as well. And Debbie, my school girlfriend, love you. Some of you may know I clean offices a few nights a week, and one office that I have is 10,000 square feet, and so I'm doing a lot of walking, and so I'll walk from like here to way over there, doing nothing but walking. And so what I try to do at that moment when I'm walking anywhere for a long distance and I'm not carrying something, especially when I don't have anything in my hands, or maybe I have, you know, a cloth and a Swiffer in my hand, but I always try to correct my posture and my walk, making sure my feet are forward. You know, I'm not walking like this, because a lot of us, as you'll notice, you kind of, you know, some of us walk like this, some of us walk like this, some of us walk with one foot forward and one foot out. And that is what we want to correct, to help everything fall in line and not get shoulder pain or low back pain or hip pain. So that's what I do. So whenever you find yourself walking a long stride, maybe you're shopping, maybe you're going out for a walk specifically, maybe you're just walking from one end of the house to the other, maybe you have a hallway. Make that hallway your spot where you always correct your posture, glutes tucked, everything, and just walk. Healthy walk, healthy posture. Okay, so I thank you all for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. I've been wanting to share it for a really long time because that is key to my flat belly. I guarantee you, I've always had a pooch. And since I've been working on my posture for a year now, with this new technique to pull in the transverse abs, I've really seen a lot of improvement in my abdomen area. And so one more thing that I will go ahead and close with, because I do like to add that one little last tip on how I keep my abdominals, how I'm getting it to cut here like this, is I different times during the day, like I don't exercise. I don't have the time yet. I have the time, but I don't really have the energy. So this is what I do, really honestly. This is all I do for my abs at this current point in my life. Stand with my feet hip distance apart, pelvis is tucked, glutes are in, and I do this. I go back and forth. And I mean, sometimes I'll be standing there talking to people that know me well enough, and I'll just be going, oh, really? So they know what I'm doing, because, you know, my health is everything. And so I just hold them way in. I'll even lean back a little bit, so these are really engaged, and do my back and forths. You could even, you know, you can either have your hands here, you can have them down here, you can have them here, whatever is comfortable, but I'm really engaging these muscles. And so the further I lean back, the more I'm engaging these muscles here. And if that feels a little bit tight, and often when I do this, it'll go pop, 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 because I have a loose spine. I don't know, it just does, it pops. And then, so another, if it feels a little bit too tight, or I'm just feeling a tension, then I just do this. And right there, I got a few little pops up in this back area right here. So I'll do a few of those. My husband will be talking to me, and I'm like, really? Oh, I'm so glad you had a good day, honey. And you know what's really interesting is he doesn't make fun of me. I think he's learning to, I think he's beginning to like respect me more, because he knows I try so hard to work on my health, and he likes seeing my posture nice because he doesn't want to see me all slumped over. So I do that, and then lately, because I don't use any kind of external tool to work on my abs, I use my hands. And so feet, glutes, I will I lean back, for those of you who can, and I will literally just kind of massage my muscles just to get them to open up. So that's what I do. Okay, so that's my little tip of the day. Work on your posture, and it will help your digestion. It'll make your abdominals look good. It'll help your shoulders, which helps with tension. So I love you all. Thank you for joining me, and I can't wait to see you again. Bye.